Hi everybody, CyberRev here. I just want to discuss something that I find extremely troubling. As you can see from the headline, it says that Egypt opens 59 ancient coffins for the first time in 2,500 years. I find this troubling, deeply troubling. And I want to discuss this because when have you last seen royal kings and queens, discoverers, or people who you think, even of biblical times, like John and James and Peter, mythical John, James, and Peter, or any of the 12 disciples being dug up, removed from their resting places in search of artifacts and treasure. Even when it comes to Jesus, mythical Jesus, where is his donkey? Where is his shoes, his clothes, his pottery? These are serious questions for Christians, professed Christians, Christianity to consider. And they are excavating royal kings and queens of Africa. Where do you think Egypt is? What was Egypt before it was called Egypt? It was Kemet, Nubia, Kush, Africa. And no one seems to be concerned about these excavations, the removal and opening of tombs and treasure, real artifacts of biblical times from before Genesis was even written. Do you care? Does it bother you? Are you concerned? How would the world of people like it if you went and dug up or tried to dig up the remains and tombs and bodies of slave masters, like they tried to pull down the statues of slave masters with the Black Lives Matter movement, and look at the uproar. But yet, they can remove and open 59 royal African kings and queens coffins with real treasures, and no one seems to be bothered or concerned. I am concerned, and I am bothered, and this is why I'm making this video, because it seems as if you can call them slaves, you can call them savages, you can call them illiterate, when they created and innovated mathematics, an alphabet system, the first kings and queens, gods and goddesses of this world and universe, even pyramids with solar systems, and yet for them to mention the word royal or royalty or Africa or Africans, it's hard for them to do that. Hard for them to tell the truth. Hard for them to write the truth. That the oldest human DNA is of Africa. Go do the research. And in this article they say Egyptian archaeologists clearly weren't bothered about unleashing any ancient plagues or curses when they decided to crack open 59 coffins for the first time since they were buried 2,500 years ago. Ancient plagues or curses? Is that how they describe royal kings and queens of Africa? Biblical Africa? Because the entire Holy Bible is written in and of Africa. Read it. Study it. Yet they want to take claim. Egypt wants claim for something created, born before Egypt was even Egypt. It says here the discovery of the coffins was announced last month when it was revealed they were found in a burial shaft in the desert necropolis of Saqqara, which is believed to have previously served as the necropolis for Memphis, the former capital of ancient Egypt. Not ancient Kemet, not ancient Africa. It's time for people to wake up. Wake up and understand the true history of Africa, biblical history of Africa. Instead of people worshipping a mythical Jesus of 33 years, only 33 years, yet you ignore royal kings and queens of Africa, biblical Africa. In this article, look at the people around these royal tombs, royal coffins, royal kings, royal queens. Look at the disrespect for royalty, Africa royalty, biblical royalty. And that's why when you read your Bible and you think you're reading the truth of the Bible, it's not the truth. This is the truth of biblical Africa and the biblical Bible. of the first alphabet system, the first hieroglyphs, the first papyrus, scrolls, educating people worldwide of all races, cultures. This is the truth. You're staring at real royal biblical kings and queens of the very Bible that you are supposed to read and understand and know and watch and check the narratives, the biased, racist narratives that are enslaving the entire world through religions and denominations. This article says Egypt mystery. Why is it a mystery? Why not facts? You actually have the facts in front of you. You've just excavated the facts. You have the treasures. You have them in museums around the world. It says hope for missing treasure. What missing treasure? How is it missing? When the kings and queens of biblical royalty wants to rest as biblical kings and queens, how dare you excavate, move, disrespect biblical kings and queens of this world and universe. Why should people of all shades of color and cultures and countries ignore the truth, ignore royalty, biblical royalty of Africa? Even Africans in Africa right now would more worship a pink, white, mythical Jesus and 12 disciples. And the 12 disciples are tribes. They're tribes. They have replaced African tribes of biblical Africa. Read and understand your Bible. Read and understand how they have rewritten the narratives so that it reflects so-called human civilization, ignoring the real human civilization, where we can know how to speak languages, we can know science, we can know architecture, we can know mathematics, we can know numerology, we can know astronomy, we can know the universe and the cosmos. This is why they went to extreme lengths. They're not mummies. They're royal kings and queens that wanted to remain connected to the cosmos and universe into the afterlife. And you take a spade and shovel and you dig them up and unearth them. How dare you do this? How dare you commit such a sin? Such a vile act to give yourself glory, or your country that you have renamed Egypt, when it is Kemet, Nubia, Kush of Africa. It's time for people to wake up, especially people of color. They call you minority, they call you ethnic. They say you have no hope. They say you are unintelligent. They say you are slaves. They say you are savages throughout history. And the real history here that Malcolm X, W. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey stood for, wanted you to open up your minds and understand you are royalty. You come from royal biblical DNA. And this may upset people because they think they're white when no one is white. No one is black. Most people on planet Earth are brown and pink. It's time for the truth. It's time for people to arise and wake up. Understand the biased religious narratives that even T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Joel Osteen, Paula White preaches of a white mythical 33-year-old Jesus when there's no J in Hebrew. There's no J even in the first King James Bible. Go and pull up the first King James Bible on the internet and look it. Look it up. Read it. There is no J. It was an I, Iusus, Greek. Yet you're staring at the real biblical Holy Bible and foundations of the biblical Holy Bible, and you ignore it. And you don't care about it. But you want to push your belief in a mythical Jesus, white Jesus in Africa, because the Bible is written in and of Africa. Go do the research. Understand the truth. Because the truth and only the truth will set you free. This is why the biblical Holy Bible is written in stone. This is why you have pyramids in stone. Huge, colossal, monumental buildings for you to understand. Had it been on paper, they would have deleted it, burnt it, ripped it up, hidden it. But they cannot hide these monumental buildings of stone, or the alphabet system in stone of the hieroglyphs. Truth is something that should interest every single person on planet Earth. Not the false narratives, not the biased racist narratives of religions and denominations. Even Muslims should pay attention to this, because there is no other truth on planet Earth older than what you're looking at right now on your screen. The hip-hop industry should pay attention. Instead of using music as a genocide for young women to twerk, for gangs to take drugs and bow down to jewelry and things of this world. Have you ever read 1 John 2, 15, 17? Even if it's been mistranslated, it says, love not the world, neither the things of this world. Something that Creflo Dollar needs to read. T.D. Jakes needs to read. If you're members of a religion or a denomination and you feel that this religion and denomination is correct and right and truth, you should be as wealthy as what you see on your screen. This is why I stand for the real kings and queens of truth, universal truth, who understood not just living in the present, but also living into the afterlife. Right now, we need to practice the afterlife. We have to practice more than what we can see with our eyes. And when you talk about black history, there is no black history. There is Africa history. There is Amer-indian history, which Amer-indian and Africa is the same root, same people, same knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's how America became America, out of Amer-indian and out of Africa slavery. Where would America be without them creating slavery? Invading Africa, invading Amer-indian people. They call them Red Indians. They're not Red Indians. They're Amer-indian. And they stretch across Mexico and Brazil and Colombia and Venezuela and Australia, Aborigine, Arawak, which is Amer-indian of the Caribbean. Know thyself, know thy history. You're staring at the root of your history, regardless of where you come from. There is no Western world. Human civilization is what you're staring at right now on your screen. It's time for people to awake. All I desire and aim for people of all ages, cultures, whatever color you think you are, check it with a piece of white paper or black paper or pink paper or brown paper or tan paper. Unity, truth, love. And let the real kings and queens of royal Africa, biblical Africa, rest eternally in their peace, in the way that they wanted to rest, without being excavated, hunted, looted, degraded. If you're on YouTube, leave your comments. Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Pray for YouTube, that YouTube promotes things that stand for what is right and what is true and what is positive and what is facts, instead of things that create division, things that create racism, things that create division, things that destroy the very people who actually are from the royal DNA of kings and queens of Africa. Please share, like, subscribe. Thank you for listening.